Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Breakdown Daily Recap. I, of course, am Breaky CPK, and today is February 14th, 2018. Yes, I still do the Daily Recap. It has been a couple days since I've done one, so I've been casting a lot lately. Simply put, I've been doing a lot of casting these last couple of days, especially. It's a grind. I casted just over 12 hours yesterday, which is one of the longer sessions I've had in a very long time. I really haven't done that since earlier on Han days, I want to say. So there's just so much qualifying action going on, and obviously as part of this, specifically for this, it was part of the Epicenter casting competition, and so it was a mix of, like, normally I wouldn't agree to do that many matches in a specific day, 12 plus hours. I'm an old man after all, and need my rest, but with the caster competition going and everything, I figured, all right, it's worth the grind. Let's go ahead and do it and see what happens. So I did have a lot of fun yesterday. With that said, I casted mainly the European region. I jumped into South America for the final series today. So yeah, 4 best of 3s throughout the day. But it was some actually entertaining and some very good Dota. With that in mind, that's what today's daily recap is going to be about, of course, going over the couple events that are currently going on when it comes to the qualifiers. So first things first, we'll start with the Epicenter event. There's one region that has actually officially wrapped up, and that would be the Southeast Asian region, where Mineski did take the title, or more so qualify for the main event, as they defeated TNC Pro Team 2-0 in the final. So Mineski advancing on. I had high hopes for Fnatic right here. I really thought this Fnatic squad, again, they did go 2-0 in their group stages, getting out of the playoffs. I had high hopes, hoping that they would be able to move forward into the main event itself. I really am looking forward to seeing more of this team, but again, it's obviously a mix of a tough region in Southeast Asia, but they've been maybe a little bit more of a disappointment than expected. Not qualifying, as Mineski being the qualifying team, that's not surprising. But losing to TNC 2-0, again, I didn't watch this series specifically, so I can't comment too much on it. And it is just 1 best of 3, I know, but it has happened a couple of times now recently in a couple of these qualifiers. Coming up short here, TNC with their newer roster, switching things around. Cuckoo now playing the 5. They picked up Armel as their new position 2 player, and maybe that seems to be working out well for them, but however you look at it, Mineski, though, ultimately qualifying, and they continue to be, I don't want to say on a hot streak, because actually they were in a bit of a dip there after their initial success this season, but now they're back up, right? They're looking good once again. They had that top 4 finish recently, and we'll see how they continue to progress as they now qualified for Epicenter, one of the most prestigious events of the year, as we all know. So congratulations to them. All the other regions are currently in are mostly currently happening. You see China right there, still needs to get figured out, but CIS is advancing, or it's going to be starting. Okay, so CIS actually hasn't started yet. They don't start for a week, so we won't talk about that just yet. There's all these qualifiers, man. It's so hard to remember which ones are, which regions are happening, so all right, let's take a look at the European region. So this is the one that I've actually happened to get the chance to cast, as I'm doing for the casting competition again. So I casted essentially Group B, all of Group B yesterday, and it kind of played out. It was interesting. It's you have these 4 teams. First off, you see the groups and how they're set up. Very uneven. I mean, let's just be blunt here. The Group A, much less stacked than Group B. I don't know how they. I guess, okay, so they apparently the reason that it was set up like this was because of scheduling conflict, I'm told. I don't know which team had the scheduling conflict, but apparently there's a scheduling conflict where Epicenter wanted to make a point. They wanted all Group A matches on one day. They wanted all Group B matches on another day. And, so from that, okay, I get it, but at the same time, hurting the integrity of the event for the sake of making a schedule work exactly how you want it to make it work is a little iffy to me. And now this isn't the most ridiculous thing that's ever been done. It's not like, to be honest, ultimately to qualify for the Epicenter out of Europe especially, I mean, the best team will do so. But it's still the idea that you had 3 open qualifier teams playing with OG, and then you had 4 other teams, one of which was an open qualifier team, sure, but the final tribe happened to be that open qualifier team, which you could argue is one of the hot streak teams lately in the European region. They just qualified for GESC Europe for their first minor of the year. They got to the finals of the DAC qualifiers before they lost to OG in the end. I mean, so it's pretty ridiculous. Like, if they swapped out the final tribe for maybe like Swiss quality gaming, I think things would look a little more fine. But again, that's probably has something to do with the scheduling conflict. Anyways, it is what it is. It played out. OG and Man's Not Hot, also known as the Cancel Stack. Yeah, Cancel, Sexy Memo, Charlie Dota, Jabs, and Buryu. Those 5 players advancing on to the next stage. With OG, as far as Group B went, the Final Tribe and Kingwin actually moved on. Alliance had a disappointing showing. They played the Final Tribe first, and they actually took them to 3 games. It was quite the exciting series, but coming up short, and then they went on to lose to Penta 2-0. Alliance still trying to find their groove with that new roster of theirs. But, yeah, Kingwin, I mean, it shouldn't be surprising, right? But Kingwin advancing on, they've been a little lackluster lately. Both the DAC and the GESC qualifiers, they were the first team even knocked out on that one. Only a 4-team event, but still. But, you know, kind of making up for it here. They actually qualify. But, again, the Final Tribe, the top team out of Group B. As a result, they match up against Man's Not Hot in the first round. And, actually, this is happening right now. You see OG's already defeated Kingwin. Now, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up real quickly. I'm not sure why this is the case, but as you notice, Southeast Asia was a straight-up single-elimination playoff stage. However, all the other regions, from what I can tell, including Europe, are a double-elimination playoff stage. So, again, that's one of those things where I'm sure it has something to do with scheduling conflicts, but it still just feels weird to me, right? Like that certain group of teams, they have to go through one format, another group of teams going through a completely different format. It just almost doesn't seem fair in the end. But, again, it's their event. They can do as they please when it comes to this. So this happens to be a double elimination, which, with that said, I almost would rather it be single elimination. I actually kind of like the Southeast Asia, maybe a little bit better. It makes how you finish, either 1 or 2 in your group, that much more significant, you can argue. But at the same time, double elimination is a fallback. And, you know, ultimately, either way, you're going to get the best team. Whoever does deserve to go on, it goes on again. That's what really matters. But right now, the Final Tribe versus Man's Not Hot. They're in Game 2. Man's Not Hot taking the first game over the Final Tribe. That would be a bit of an upset, in my opinion. Again, the Final Tribe looking good. I do expect OG to be the team, though, that advances on. Again, they're kind of just seem like they are on another level right now compared to the other European squads. So not to get too stuck up on that. But South America, you had Pain Gaming and Mad Kings out of Group A, SG Esports and T-Show Rising out of Group B. Really nothing surprising here. I mean, maybe Mad Kings over Infamous, but not really at the same time. You look at Mad Kings, Benji's, Leo Style, I mean, Sladen. These are all players that we definitely recognize. And South America, you know, it continues to be a region where a lot of mixing of teams going on with the rosters, and you really just have 2 teams, in my opinion. You have Pain Gaming and SG Esports, both the Brazilian teams. They are the top dogs in the region, and I would expect one of them to. I'm still leaning towards Pain Gaming being the team to qualify for the Epicenter event. We'll see. And North America kicking off here, or advancing on more so these last couple of days. We have our Group A and Group B finishes. We have Evil Geniuses and Optic out of Group A, Complexity and Immortals out of Group B. So, again, Group A, the bit of the surprise was Iceberg going 0-2. They lost to EG initially, not surprised, but then they lost to IDC 2-1. Again, Team IDC, legitimate team. Yara, Tomato, Snaking, MSS, and SVG. But Iceberg, you know, with their roster, they qualified for, was that the GESC? I think they qualified for the GESC themselves. A little surprising to see them in that 4th place spot. But, again, Team IDC, a legitimate contender as well. This really goes to show you. I mean, you look at Group A, by the way. This is, now that I'm looking at these guys, I didn't really look at these yet, but, yeah, Team Pangolia and Thundercats being in the same group together with Immortals Complexity. I gotta say, Complexity got a bit of an easier road in Group B, hands down. But, again, I think the deserving team's definitely moving on in the end, so not that crazy. But so Complexity, Immortals, Optic, and Evil Geniuses. You have Complexity versus Optic yet again. These teams have played so much through these qualifiers. And then you have EG versus Immortals. But, again, it's double elimination, so we'll keep an eye on it. Continue to see how it plays out. And then one other thing, the Madness Qualifier. Now, this still is going to be a little bit before it happens, but from what I can tell, Epicenter kind of announced this Madness Qualifier event where it's going to essentially be 8 teams, best of 1. Anyone can sign up. It's literally a Face-It tournament where it's an open qualifier event from any region. Now, I don't know how it's going to work when it comes to the server selection. I haven't really looked that much into it, but apparently you just sign up and, you know, you give it a go. Let's see. I don't want to take too much. And Face-It EU servers. Oh. Oh, interesting. So they're going to be on the EU servers. Oh, that's actually very curious. But I guess it is an EU event, CIS technically. But so they're kind of just going with that and saying if you happen to be from NA or Southeast Asia or whatever, best of luck. But the default will be EU server. So a little bit of advantage there, no doubt, for the EU teams. But it's kind of a clever idea at the same time to get the 16th team just be like, you know what, anyone can qualify. I like the ambition here. I like the idea of Epicenter and what they're doing. We'll see how it works. Obviously, there's going to be server ping complaints, no doubt. I mean, that's naturally going to happen. But it's definitely cool to see them kind of doing something like this. So apparently it's going to be March 24th. Wow, that's a ways away, according to this at least. So we'll see when that takes place. That's going to be a while. All right, so that's the Epicenter event. Again, that's continued coverage happening there. The Dream League qualifiers happening as well. We have a couple results from there. Fnatic over Execration. So just as I got finished talking about Fnatic, maybe been a little bit disappointing. Well, Dream League, they're going to the Dream League Minor. So they defeat Execration, actually, who had to get through TNC Pro Team as well as Geek Fam, initially getting knocked down by TNC Pro Team. But Fnatic going all the way and claiming the title. And again, they are representing Southeast Asia, so congratulations to them. China, not happening just yet. We have CIS, Empire over Suicide Team. I believe we've talked about that already. Europe, same thing, not happening just yet. South America, I believe, finished. Yeah, Pain Gaming did defeat SG Esports 2-0 in the grand finals. And North America, same story, not happening yet. Going to be 3 days here before that takes place. So there you go. That's a daily recap. I believe that's pretty much it. Again, it's like I said, I do apologize for not having these last couple of days right here, but there's just been so much casting going on. Had a break today. I'm going to be streaming, just playing some Dota here today after I've wrapped this up, but should be back tomorrow, definitely, and continuing it on. So, yes, the daily recap's still happening. Again, I had a couple of day break there, but as long as, there's not these long days of casting, ideally I'll do my best to get in the recap. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Until then.